Hey, it's Mike. I'm back. I'm going to be doing some Hare Krishna stuff. Hey, what do we got here? We got good morning, good afternoon, evening to Mike and everyone watching in YouTube live and live chat. Hey, Eliana, great to see you here. We got Howard Johnson. Great to see you here, man. So, like the thumbnail says, I'm going to go over what Prabhupada has to say about Hitler in the Vedabase. I'm going to read it right from the Vedabase. I'm going to show you everything. We're going to go over everything. So if you out there that don't know and wanted evidence of the things that Prabhupada says about Hitler and World War II, Jews, and all of that, this is I got it all for you right here. Let's see. Hey, fake human, how you doing? Great to see you here. So I got that. I got everything. I got it all here. We're going to go over it. I'm going to go over everything. And but before I get to that, of course, I got some other things I want to talk about. I got some other videos that I want to show real quick. Hey, it's Tim. Good to see you here, man. I'm glad to see everybody here, man. This is awesome. Oops. Let's see what happened. I don't know. Okay. All right, so let's get right to the opening. Here we go. Oh, I got it. Sorry about this. Let's see what we can do here. It is this. Okay.
Hello?
Hello.
All right, so hey, that's a brand new opening, and I'm really excited about that. Okay, hey, we got Trey Martin Watts. Hey, man, how you doing? I'm glad you're ready for class. I hope you might can take some notes. Everybody can take notes if you want to take notes. Definitely, participation in class is definitely encouraged. If you want to participate in class, we got a fake human, of course. Yeah, and Hayden Erickson. Hey, good to see you, Hayden. Returning back. Nice to catch your lives. Yeah, great to have you back in the class here. So, of course, this has kind of become something that I've been doing now regularly. So I'm gonna just keep doing it. It's really good. And we got. Okay, yeah, take some notes. The first thing I got is, of course, Knitting Cult Lady. And this is not the one. It's not the one I show. Okay, this one. And it's funny because I know if you're an ex-Hare Krishna, like me, you're going to relate to this. You're going to totally relate to what she's saying. And she's not a Hare Krishna, but she knows what she's talking. She knows what she's talking about. So here we go. Watch this. Oops, let me see. Let me get out of the way here. Okay, there we go.
So just coming from the camper showers where 8 minutes was well more than enough time for me to completely clean myself and my complicated hair, which reminds me to tell you that cults are always controlling showers. And in fact, if you grew up in a single family home where your shower time was often being controlled, that is a good sign that you probably grew up in a single family cult. Same for if your parents regularly took away privacy as a punishment, as in taking your front door, or taking the locks off, or turning the door around so you couldn't lock it from the inside, especially once you were a teenager. Good sign that you grew up in a single family cult. Constant surveillance, one of the fastest ways to break people down. And not giving people time to think is why they control showers. They will give you any of number of other reasons. It's not giving you time to think. I'm Daniela, scholar of cults, extreme groups, and extremely bad leadership. I wrote this book, Uncultured, about growing up in the Children of God religious cult and going into the cult of the U.S. Army. You can get signed copies attached here or listen to me read it to you on Spotify Premium.
Yes. If you're an ex Hare Krishna, or you're in the Hare Krishnas, then you know exactly what she's talking about. Restricting your water, water. Hey, Liam, how you doing? Good to see you here. So, it's really strange how she really doesn't talk much about Hare Krishna nor reference them, but she hits the nail on the head every time. I mean, if you're an ex Hare Krishna or you're a Hare Krishna, you know that showers is a big deal, especially when you go to India. But even if you're not in India, showering is a big deal. Getting up early at 4:30 in the morning and taking that cold shower. Supposedly it's a cold shower. Who takes a cold shower though? I mean, seriously. In Los Angeles, it's cold. It's cold in the morning in Los Angeles, and a cold shower is not a. And somehow they want you to believe that it's austere and it's important and all of these things. And I remember when I first started in the Hare Krishnas, and I'm in LA, and my friend is telling me, you get up and you take a cold shower. And he's telling me about how it was in the ashram, what it was like when he was in the Krishnas and he was in the other. And I'm like, yeah, that's crazy. And then when I started going to the temple and meeting more devotees in the community, that this getting up early and taking this cold shower was so important. Also reading it in Prabhupada's books, that this cold shower early in the morning is so important. And I remember when I went to India the first time with my friend Radhakund, and the idea that I didn't want to take a cold shower. I wanted to just take a nice warm, if I got to throw a bucket of water on my head, why can't it just be warm? Why can't it be warm? I mean, what's the biggest cold? It's cold in Vrindavan at 4:30 in the morning. I'm already getting up at 4:30 in the morning. I don't know what's the big deal. He was so offended that I did not want to take a cold shower in the morning. Like there was something wrong. There was something wrong with me. And also the underwear. She says in another video that I played a few weeks ago, how cults want to control your underwear. If you think about the Mormons and you think about some other cults, she says they want to control your underwear. And I remember how they wanted to control my underwear. Same thing. It was like, you can't wear Fruit of the Looms underneath your dhoti because you can see through your dhoti. You can see it, and it's tacky, it's this and that. You got to wear the Brahmin underwear. That's the correct thing to wear. I mean, it just the controlling. I don't know, I didn't put the underwear as part of this controlling cult manipulation mind, whatever the underwear has to do with controlling the cult, but evidently it is one of these patterns that runs through cults. And lo and behold, it applies to the Hare Krishnas as well. The underwear, the showers, it's just amazing what it is that gets people to join and stay for 60 years and then end up screwing their disciple. I don't know what it is. But I found this other video that I wanted to show. And again, this is something that I was talking about, and I kind of wanted to follow up on it. So I showed this video of Indrayumna Swami begging for money because he wanted to go on this Guru Palooza in Rishikesh. fake human. Yeah, and the underwear police. It's amazing. The underwear police. Rafael, hey man, good to see you here. Glad to see that you're here, man. And you're gonna like this too, Rafael, because you were with this guy. So I showed a video a week ago or so of Indrayumna Swami. I think I spun the wheel, and it landed on him. And I showed a video of him, and he was begging for donations. He was begging for donations to go to Rishikesh to do this Guru Palooza. And sure enough, and I talked about that. And sure enough, I was doing some research today, and you know how the algorithm is. So all of a sudden I see this video. It's a few years old. Well, this is what he was begging for. He was on the internet. He was begging for money because he wanted to go do this. And lo and behold, here's a video of him doing exactly what he wanted to do when he was begging for money. And now we get to all see what he was doing. And okay, I'm gonna comment because I have to comment on this stuff. So I don't know how many of you Hare Krishnas out there that are watching, and those of you that are in my chat that are ex-members. I don't know how many of you have ever been to India. And I don't know how many of you have been to Rishikesh, but Rishikesh is a really pretty cool place. I mean, it's on the river. It's really kind of picturesque. It's a really chill little village. If you go to like Lakshman Jula or Ram Jula, a lot of yoga studios. That's where everybody goes to be a yoga instructor. So you got like a lot of young people, a lot of kind of like the hippie new age yoga crowd. It's very international. A lot of international people there, all there to study yoga and to become yoga instructors. That's what it is. It's where people go to get their yoga instructor, whatever they get. That's where they go to get it. But it's a really cool place to go if you're in India. It's a pretty chill, relaxed place. A lot of Indians go there because it's kind of like a vacation place. It's up in the mountains, so it's kind of a little bit cooler. And you can do a lot of things to do there. It's a pretty chill place. I can understand why he wants to go there. I've been there twice, and I had a really good time there. It's just relaxing. It's like a vacation within a vacation. I went to Vrindavan. It was so friggin' hot in Vrindavan. My friend in Vrindavan said, "Hey, you want to go to Rishikesh?" And I'd never been, so I was like, "Yeah, let's go." So we hopped on a bus, and we went up there, and it was great. I had a great time up there, and then I went back a few years later. So I can understand why he wants to go. But what business does he have going there other than to go enjoy yourself up there? He's got no business, and why does he want to do his Guru Palooza up there? I know why he wants to do his Guru Palooza up there, because that's a cool place to go. Is it like, sure, why not? But why is his disciples and everybody paying for it? Why are you begging for money to go? Why don't you just go? I went. I paid for my ass to go. I said I want to go to Rishikesh. It's going to cost me a couple grand or whatever, and then I had to budget it out, and I went. But no, this guy, he just feels like I can just go. I'm a sannyasi. I can go. I can get on YouTube or whatever, and I can beg for money, and then I can just go party. It's like a GoFundMe, go fund guru. Look at him. Look at this guy. And of course, he's always got his women around him. He's always got his girls right in the front, right? Like, I mean, why go to Rishikesh if you can't take 15 beautiful women with you all dressed up and they just dance around like they're your harem or your court. What do they call those women that dance for the king? You know, it's fucking disgusting, this guy. He's walking around with his stick and his orange. He's like, I'm renounced. I don't have anything to do with women except for these 15 women that I have dancing behind me and that follow me everywhere I go. So he's going to go up to Rishikesh where he can go and preach and sell do his book begging to all these these young yoga, hippies or whatever, these yoga people that go to Rishikesh to vacation and learn yoga and do yoga and just party and have a good time. So he's going to go up there, and he figures that's a great place to go and beg with books and have my kirtan, and I'll bring my women, I'll bring my little circus, my little circus of freaks up here. He's gonna bring his little circus of freaks. Begging is this some dharma for these clowns and freaks. He can't just go. He can't just go and say, hey, I'm going to buy me a ticket to Delhi, and I'm going to take a bus up to Rishikesh, and I'll get my assistant can go with me, and and then anybody who else wants to go, they can pay their own way. You pay your own way to go, and I'll pay my way. You pay your way, and we all go to Rishikesh, and we have Guru Palooza. No, he's going to get on the internet. He's going to say, hey, send some donations. He's going to ask, because Raphael can tell us all. When he sends out the word and says, hey, I want to do this Guru Palooza, or I want to do anything, and he starts begging for donations, I'm sure the donations start coming in. That's what his disciples live for, is they live to donate to this guy. So it's like, oh, what does Guruji want to do now? Oh, he wants to go to Rishikesh, let me send him $100, or let me send him $200, or let me send him $1,000. I don't know. I don't know exactly how it works, but that's how it works. I know exactly how it works. That's how it's working. He's not spending his own money to take all those people and all those women and having them all. I don't know. I thought this was supposed to be an austere. Cult, where you just, you got your book bag and you got your sari and your tilak and that's it, like 2 saris, some sandals. No, he's got a whole entourage of, it looks like, like the traveling Broadway play of Hair or something that's going on tour. He's got a whole musical thing with him and women dancing, and of course he's got his shopping carts full of books, and that's what they're paying for. They're paying for him to go have a good time. Let's go have a good time. And paying for the flyers and paying for the ashram, because they gotta stay somewhere. They gotta stay somewhere. And pay for the big poster. And put on this thing. And then they got this Dina Bandhu character up there with his stories. And they're doing all this. Oh look! Oh, I got gopi nuts. Oh. So that's what his disciples paid for. They donated to this guy so he could go and have his little guru palooza up there in Rishikesh, and have somebody semi-professionally videotape it and edit it and put it all together. Kali Yuga Prabhu, all the money belongs to saffron freaks. Yeah, evidently he has no. These guys have no problem spending money like it's water. Like, Shiva Ram, send me money so I can buy a wetsuit. I can fly my entourage to London. We can swim in the Thames. I can do this 10K, all under the pretense of book distribution. He wants to print some books in Turkey, and this guy. This guy is gonna, hey, I want to have Kirtan Fest in Rishikesh. Can you all send money and donate? And that's their devotional. They think they're doing devotional service. They think their money is going for something. It's like it's doing something. What? Because they went up to Rishikesh, begged for books, and passed out some kitri to some people. This is some bullshit. I'm telling you, man, this is some bullshit. Is the clown painting the clown face? Kali Yuga Prabhu. Yeah. It's always Kali Yuga. That's the real culprit. It's Kali Yuga. That's what this Bhakti Vikash was saying. He's going, hey, just because Trivikram fell down and this other guy fell down, and all these things are happening in ISKCON, and whatever else is going on in ISKCON, this guy's falling down, that guy, whatever is happening, don't worry, it's just Kali Yuga. It's not that the holy name doesn't work. This is what he was saying. It's not that the holy name doesn't work. It's not that the process is faulty, or the guru is not guru, or Krishna is not Krishna, or any of these things. It's none of that. It's Kali Yuga. That's the reason. That's the reason why Trivikram can do devotional service for 60 years and then fall down with his disciple. That's why these gurus can fall down with underage girls and all of these things, because it's Kali Yuga. I tell you that you love your class. Well, thanks. I appreciate it, man. I'm trying to do what I can, because I know that this cult is horrible. So I'm trying to do what I can, man. And I appreciate it. They justify opulence, saying it's an appropriate way to show respect to gurus who's seen just as good as God. So you really think that I know what you're saying. They really think that they're no different than these evangelical preachers on TV with these mega churches that are like saying, I need to look fancy in front of my thing, because this is what God wants. God wants me to be, to look good, and this is what Prabhupada said. Prabhupada said the guru should be driving around in a golden limousine. I'm just driving around in an ordinary limousine, so I really should be. I should be in a. What he's saying is, I should be in a golden limousine in the biggest house with all the servants. I deserve everything, but I have nothing. That's Prabhupada's logic. He's saying I really deserve a golden car, The representative of God should be driven around in a golden car. I'm just in an ordinary limousine. That was his answer. Eliana, when you see saffron-clad old men tripping over 11-year-old girls or young women, it's just a cosplay. Yeah, these guys are just these guys are cosplaying. Where are these guys again? They're all cosplaying. They're just cosplaying. Running after that Kiwi man. Indra Yumna Swami is totally bad. He is running after that Kiwi.
call it the Kirtan Fest.
It is such bullshit, I swear. They have no problem doing that. No problem doing that. You know what? And then they want to criticize the karmis for being sense enjoyers and wanting to do nonsense things. And like, if if I go to Rishikesh just to enjoy Rishikesh, then I'm a sense enjoyer. But this guy can actually collect donations to go and put on his Kirtan Fest, his Guru Palooza, and think nothing of it, and just living off of other people's money. Living off other people's money. If you want to go to Rishikesh, do like I do. Pay for your own goddamn trip to Rishikesh. Why are you asking your disciples? Why don't you ask them to do something for the poor? Why don't you ask them to go out and help the poor? Why don't you ask them to go down to Skid Row and in your name, Indra Yumna Swami, have them show up at the midnight mission and, do something there. And when they go, well, who are you? Hey, we're from Indra Yumna Swami, sent us to help you at the midnight mission on Skid Row. Or go, why don't you tell your disciples to go do something. Go volunteer your time at the kids, not the kids, at the animal shelter, or at at the senior citizens center, and then go, do something for the community in Indra Yumna Swami's name. Say, we're here. My guru, Indra Yumna Swami, he asked all his disciples to come out and volunteer at their local senior citizen center to help with the seniors, maybe take them for a walk if they're in wheelchairs, maybe, feed them lunch if they need help with their lunch, maybe, do something like that. In my guru's name. It's my guru's idea. It's my guru's idea to do this. And not my idea. This is all on my pure devotee guru, Indra Yumna Swami. He asked us to go pick up trash in the park, go pick up trash at the beach, go volunteer our time, picking up, doing something for the community. No, he doesn't ask them to do anything like that. He doesn't ask them to do anything for their community. Nothing. He says, send me money. That's your service. Your devotional service that's going to get you back to Godhead is sending me money so I can go to Rishikesh and I can have Kirtan Palooza or Guru Palooza. And you know what? If there's any money left over after you send it to me, you can come too. You can just buy your own ticket, no problem. But make sure you send me money first before you buy your ticket to go. Because if you don't send me money, then there might not be a Palooza for you to buy your ticket to go to. So you got to send me money first, and then I can make sure that we have the Guru Palooza, and then when there's money left over, then you can buy your ticket, and then you can meet us there. Fucking scam. Fucking scam. Rishikesh is pretty cool weather-wise, and now I have a lot of different yoga ashrams. And what is that? Akkad Sampradayas of other sects of Hinduism. But some of these yoga schools have guru rape cases too. Well, India is the rape capital of the world. I mean, there's nothing you can do about that. You're absolutely right about that. I wouldn't go to any I wouldn't go to any yoga guru or any guru at all. I would just go and just be a tourist, and I wouldn't go looking. I wouldn't go looking for any guru or anything. But yeah, it's a pretty chill place. I can see why he wants to go there. I mean, he's not going to go to, I don't know, Jhansi, where Prabhupada was from, or where Prabhupada did his League of Devotees, or he's not going to go to Allahabad, or he's not going to just go to any city. He's going to go to Rishikesh. I mean, that's probably one of the nicest places to go in India. I mean, I'm sure there's nicer places, but that's one of the nicest places to go. I can understand why he wants to go there. I just don't understand why he's got the balls to ask his followers to foot the bill for him to go there. I think it's just fucking disgusting. Let me see, what else have I got? I wanted to... Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So you want to talk about this guy. I was looking for something else, and this shit popped up because I showed a video of him earlier. So I just said, let me just grab this and let me just get this out of the way. So let's just take a look at this, because this is friggin' insanity. It's like it's insanity. You gotta see it. You gotta see it now, and I'll forget about it, or it'll just get lost. See, you gotta see this.
But the whole world is like this, materially motivated. Mute your mic here. I'll mute it for you. Yeah, the whole world is materially motivated, and that's why goodness. I'm here. Part of my work is the highest truth distinguished from illusion is to destroy your faith in illusion. How deep does that illusion go? Go to goodness. That's how far the illusion is. That's why it's a principality. That's why that was really close to Vrindavan. See? But you're still not in Vrindavan that way.
What in God's holy name are you blathering about?
That's hypocritical level. See? You have to distinguish that out. See, only the devotees who are rich, see, with the wealth of the true Lord, Krishna, see, who's, like this verse, "Oh, friend of Gokul." See, he's such a friend that he kills for the benefit of his friends in Gokul.
Okay. So I don't know who's crazier. These people that are sitting there listening to this guy babble on about, I don't know what the hell he's babbling on about, or him. But that's what you get with it. That's what you get with these guys. That's what you get with these guys. Work from home. He's guru from home. He's guru from home. We're gonna. What is guru about? Who knows? But he did say he was teaching the high. Let's hear a little bit more, because I am curious. He did say he was teaching the highest something. I don't know.
He kills the obstacle, or destroys the obstacle for his friends. He destroys the putana, purifies that.
If you notice, the lady right above my head is showing some ecstatic symptoms.
From his real devotees. So
she's laughing and crying at the same time. I'm not sure.
And so they can be close to him. Otherwise, if
she's a
if
real
you're
basket
polluted
case, that one.
By Kalya coming in there, and you listen to some bullshit of people who are not.
Oh, he's cussing now. He's getting really into it now.
See? Or you listen to the Coles out there, or the Arjais, and the Johans. See? Then the Lord, he cannot be close to you. You will not understand his mentality and his friendship. You will not be able to partake of that very much, maybe more of a distance, because it's contamination. See? And you're not willing to get it cleared off. It's like, no, I don't believe in my guru teaching me about putana and about kalya. No, I don't believe in that.
He's trying to like explain why someone doesn't believe, or I don't know what he's getting at, but he's getting into the whole we're contaminated. Tears of joy, the highest tears of joy. She's just when you the highest bullshit ever heard. The highest bullshit ever heard. the highest level of crap there is. And you know what? And the thing about the crying, the laughing, and the crying, and all of that stuff, is when you realize that it's all emperor's new clothes and it's all bullshit, and what he's saying is a bunch of bullshit. First of all, he's not making any sense. He's not like teaching anything. I don't know what he's doing. He's just like babbling on. Like he thinks he's like giving some divine knowledge. But anyway, when you realize it's all just emperor's new clothes, it's all bullshit. Then you got to look at these people that are like laughing and crying and trying to show some ecstatic symptoms, and like, you know, what you're just taking this cosplay a little bit too seriously. You're really getting into the cosplay. This is like, you know, like three-dimensional. I mean, like another dimension of cosplay, of mental illness. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And he goes on. I'm not gonna. This is not a Gora Hari class. I've already done we already spun the wheel and I talked about him. But I just wanted to show him in his little group and how he talks and babbles and it's just a bunch of bullshit. And he cusses and he swears and he does all kinds of things. And he wanted me to get on he said, come on with me and we'll talk. Come on, Mike. He was being really nice. Like, come on, Mike. And I was like, what am I gonna do? I'm not gonna go. What am I gonna go on there for? Because as soon as I start speaking how I feel, and I'm not going to hold back, I'm going to be just like I am here. And you're not going to want that on your channel. You're going to kick me off, I guarantee it. Because I'm going to say it like it is. That's it. I think the intense emotions cloud their good sense. They prefer you to laugh or cry rather than think. Yeah, well, see, you know, the more you show ecstatic symptoms, you know, then that shows that you are advancing. If you cry, spontaneously cry, thinking about Krishna, or while you're chanting, Radha, 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 you know, then obviously you're advancing. How else are you going to advance? The more you cosplay, the more you're advancing. Otherwise, what is there to advancing? I mean, I look at how I was chanting, and the more I was chanting, you know, the more I wanted to be a Hare Krishna. It was like I was putting time in, I was chanting, so I wanted to be a Hare Krishna. So now it's like, well, I want to shave my head and look like a Hare Krishna, and I want to wear a dhoti and look like a Hare Krishna. Now I want to cosplay. I'm chanting, I'm putting time and effort in, I'm reading, I'm understanding. So what's the next step? How can I be taken seriously on this path of self-realization? How can I let other people know that I'm serious and I'm advancing? Well, I have to start cosplaying. I have to start doing what they're doing. And then they'll go, well, he's one of us. Hey, he's shaved up. I mean, just think about it, like when someone shaves up, it's like, oh, look, did you see? Bhakta Mike shaved up. He's Sri Mukunda now. He's shaved up. He's wearing a dhoti. He's this, that. So the next step, now that you're shaved up and you're wearing a dhoti or you're wearing a sari and you've got your hair braids, and your hair's in braids, and you know, whatever. What's the next step? Well, now I gotta start showing ecstatic symptoms. I gotta do service and I gotta show ecstatic symptoms. But this is all bullshit, and he's just trying to put them on what he's doing is he's trying to put them on the fast lane. He put them on the fast track to mental illness of like crying and laughing and I'm like having ecstatic symptoms, just like I'm overwhelmed with this love of God and Lord Chaitanya, and I'm going to be like Lord Chaitanya. I'm just constantly in ecstasy, like Joe Cocker or something, epileptic fits of I don't know what. But from looking at him and listening to him and watching his people, I'm pretty sure I got him pretty much pegged down. I got it down pretty good. They're not sure whether to cry or laugh at his BS. I would have done both. Yeah, I know. I would. I don't know. Yeah, she had to get up and leave because she couldn't handle it anymore. But and he wants you to think this is the highest stage. The highest stage of love of God is listening to Him. The highest stage. The highest stage of love of God is listening to Him babble on. He just goes on babbling. He's just going to go on babbling.
So you stay in that, right? Real Bhagavatam is real Bhagavatam. It's the highest truth distinguished from illusion. And if you don't understand what I'm saying now, you'll learn if you go into that. Eventually, you'll get clear about that. That ain't like this here. Here is the real thing. Here, you stay long enough, you can say, my God, this is a living fucking book. This is the living book. That ain't the living book. That you think that's the Leela? Well, they're in the Leela, but indirectly, right? Indirectly. They don't understand. See, the Lord, what's that first verse? Yeah. The Lord is directly and indirectly conscious. He's indirectly conscious in the illusion.
He's indirectly conscious in the illusion. The Lord is indirectly conscious in the illusion. Free comedy show with clowns and buffoons. I swear to God. It is such a clown show. This guy with this head clown right in the middle, like this. It's like the Hollywood Squares of idiots. I swear. If I attended his YouTube live or Zoom call meeting, I would smoke, have a beer, and eat a bacon stuffed beef hamburger while I was looking at the camera. I don't know. Oh, okay. So, yeah, that's a good. He's the cool. He's too hip. He's a too hip guru. He'd probably be like, that's okay. Hey, let's ride it on. Hey, yep. So, let me see. What do I got here? Oh, so here's one. I wanted to get this to you because I do a lot of talking about how this cult disrespects women. They hate women. It's a woman-hating cult. These guys in orange hate women. They don't want to be around women. They're not in control of their senses. They're definitely not in control of their senses. Because if they were in control of their senses, and they really did love everyone and want to spread love, and they were in control, they could be around women and it wouldn't be a problem. But they're not in control because this shit doesn't control anything. It's just cosplaying. So naturally, because it's just cosplay, they're not really in control of anything. They're not in control. They're not in any more control of their senses than anyone else who's trying to control their senses. Like I was saying, I can go control my sense. I'm in control all the time. I'm constantly in control because I can just go function in society around women and children and not be affected by it, which most of us can do that. Most of society can do that. I would say most of society can do that. There are people that can't, and they're called Hare Krishnas. No, there are people who can, but they definitely cannot. if you've got to put on an orange outfit and have this whole I hate women, women, you say, well, Mike, do they all hate women? Well, they think women like to be raped. They think women have small brains and are dumb, and you can't trust them, and you can smack them around a bit if you need to. I mean, I'd say that's pretty indicative of some hatred there. They think that women can, shouldn't have an education or any responsibilities, because they have small brains and they're dumb, and they're lusty, and you can't trust them. I mean, why even have them around? Why even have women around? That's why they put on the orange. They're like, I don't even want them around. It's not because because they're controlling themselves. They just hate women. They have a horrible view of women. They have a horrible mindset of what a woman is. She's just there for men. Women are just there for when men can't control themselves, and they just go and they enjoy themselves with a woman. And then they're done with them, and they throw them to the wind, and they can go off. Man can go off to the forest at 50 years old. Well, the woman, she's 50 years old. Well, okay, she's 39. If the husband is 50, the woman was 11 when she was, whatever. See, so she's 11 years younger than. He's 50 and she's what, 30 something? Because she was 11 when he married her, and now he's 50, and so she's barely 30 years old, right? She's barely 30, 25, she's 36. She's 36 years old, right? Okay, she's 30. The wife is 36. The husband's 50. He goes off to the forest, and now what does she do? She's 36 years old. She's got to live the rest of her life. She's going to live to be 80. That means she's going to live for 50 years, 40-something years. She's going to live by herself as a widow in Vrindavan, in an ashram for widows. This is Prabhupada's idea of Varnashram and how the world's going to be. They hate women, okay? They hate women. And I wanted to show you this little video because again, I came across this video, and it's just nail on the head. So I wanted to show you this. She's 36 and found a new, better, loving husband. Well, not in Prabhupada's world. In Prabhupada's world, there's no divorce. There's no second husband. The man goes off to the forest. She goes off to Vrindavan. She dresses in white and lives in a ashram for widows, and that's and that's it. We're done with her. That's Prabhupada's world. So, of course, this is an atheist, so I'm not trying to turn anybody into an atheist or anything like that. But he makes a point about religion and women, much the same way that knitting cult lady does. Let me see.
Do you believe that without religion the struggle would come to an end?
No. I'll give you an example. Christianity is stolen from Judaism, and Islam is stolen from Christianity and Judaism. These are plagiarisms, but the original monotheism is that of the covenant between God and the Jewish people, supposedly. Mm-hmm. Well, according to the Jews, God tells them to pray every morning. The men have to say, "Thank God I'm not a woman," and the women have to pray, "Thank God I am the way I am." And both have to thank God that they're not a Gentile or a slave. Well, obviously, this is not decided by God. It's designed by men, to be exact, masculine, so that they can keep women in their place. That's easy. Only a fool can't see that. Okay? God did not decide this. Men used religion to own women. However, the impulse of men to own women would be there if they believe in God or not. It's just that it might be a bit harder to persuade female babies that they should be owned by men. To be true, they're not going to be very surprised. Tell them that God wants it to be true, then they may put up with it. The same with slavery. God wants people to be slaves. That's different from just men wanting to own other people. So that with the use of religion, the invention of the deity, you can disguise what would otherwise be obviously a man-made, ramshackle, hypocritical dictatorship. So that getting rid of the idea of the supernatural is one step, only one, but a very important one, perhaps the first one, perhaps the biggest one, on the road to emancipation.
Until reading your book, I never realized how many divine creators have been born from virgin women as Mary. You say Buddha, Krishna, Perseu, Horus, Mercury.
Several Aztec gods. I think there's no god that I know of in history. I have a whole paragraph of it.
That have been...
I say history, in mythology, that has not been born of a virgin. It would have been impossible for Christianity to sell itself as a religion if it did not continue this Egyptian, Aztec, Persian, Mongol tradition. Even Buddha is born from a slit in his mother's side. Anything but the birth canal, anything but the vagina. This unclean vessel, God has for some reason used only one-way street.
But was the eternal fear of sex, or perhaps the need that make an origin for God that would be different from the human biological system?
It's the religious fear of sex, certainly, but it's also the male revulsion from what it most desires. Men need women, and they don't like the fact that they need them. They need them terribly. They hate the fact that they need them. They have experienced a disgust about this fact. Religion makes that into a system and consecrates it. My first wife was Greek Orthodox, Eastern Christian. When she was having her monthly period, she wasn't allowed to go to the church. Certainly not to take the sacrament of Mass. I think that used to be true, at any rate, of the Western Orthodox, the Roman Catholic as well. It's certainly true of Judaism. And the revulsion from female menstrual fluids is very common, of course, also in Islam and all other cults. This comes from human anthropology. It does not come from heaven. It does not come from the sky. It doesn't come from the planets. It doesn't come from the sun and the moon and the stars. It comes from the base, very primitive forms of human anthropology. It's the first thing to know about it.
Let's take a look at the three.
Okay, so as you know, everything he said applies to the Hare Krishna cults as well, including the fear of menstrual fluids, getting on the altar, all of these things to control the hatred of women, the need of women, and the hatred of women. I believe Prabhupada hated women. I think that's because he raped an 11-year-old girl and then had a loveless, sexless relationship with her. She hated him, he hated her, and I think he was just a bitter old man who hated women. And of course, the books don't help, because the books say that that women are Maya and they have small brains and all this stuff. And so he agreed with all of it. He's like, yeah, absolutely, women are everything. Women are all of that. Even Confucius is confused. Yeah, it's more confusing than Confucius. Although Confucius, I don't know. Confucius might be kind of simple. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. It's all. It's all. Well, you know, if it's just a bunch of sayings and Aesop's fables and, you know, don't step on a rake or it'll whack you in the face. I mean, that's. I don't see what's wrong. I don't see what's wrong with something like that. But if it's like, don't step on a rake, or, you know, the invisible demigod from the higher planets are going to come down and cause you to, you know, be eaten by snakes because you didn't you didn't stand 3 times and spin around and tap yourself on the head and put the water and then put the thing in your mouth and what all the little rituals and all that stuff. This is crazy stuff. Now, I wanted to show this one last video before we get into Hitler. This is what happens when you stand up to the Hare Krishnas and you say, "Hey, wait a minute. What about all the children you molested? Hey, what happened? What about all those children? What about?" In case anybody wanted to see what happens when you do that, this is what happens when you do that.
Question. And you have a royal writ to
You are a convicted, self-confessed child abuser. It is estimated by your own admission that at least 30 children have been raped while under your care, with your knowledge, but without your protection. You knew, but you did not do the needful to protect them. Why is it that you're still involved in education today? Why have you apologized? Why have you not apologized for your crimes?
If you got a question,
is this how you apply Vedic paradigm to your life? I would like to point out to the leadership of ISKCON that by endorsing Maharaj.
I'm not quite sure I understand the.
I would like to point out to the leadership of ISKCON that by endorsing Maharaj, you are endorsing what you what.
Just here, let us finish, because.
One question at a time.
Calm down.
One question.
This is a Srimad Bhagavatam class, which is for the purpose of discussing the transcendental understanding.
This is a Bhagavatam class for discussing transcendental topics. We're not here to talk about all the children that I molested and all the children that were molested under my care, and the fact that I didn't want to do anything about it, and I didn't do anything about it. This is not the place to talk about that. The place to talk about that is when I'm not here and none of my representatives are here, and I can take zero responsibility for that. That's when you should bring it up. You hold your thought and you bring it up when I'm not here and no GBCs are here and there are no gurus here. That's when you can talk about it. In fact, why don't you just go home and talk about it to yourself, because nobody here wants to hear that. All these people in the audience, they don't care. They don't care that this guy is responsible for the rape and abuse of all of these children. Nobody sitting there is saying, what about all the children you molested? No. They're sitting there going, man, when are they going to be done yelling? I want to finish with this Bhagavatam class. I really wanted to hear about when Krishna ate the apple and, spit out the seeds and it landed in the demon's head, or whatever the fuck is he going to talk about. That's what they want to hear. They don't want to hear that their guru molested a bunch of kids. They really don't. They don't want to hear about it. And you're going to tell me this is not a pedophile cult. Not one person got up and said, "Hey, what are you talking about? What are you talking? You're accusing him of hey, Maharaj, did you really molest these kids? Did you abuse these kids?" Nobody's sitting there. Nobody is speaking up and saying, "Hey, what's going on with this? How can a pure devotee sitting there giving in a class? How can you even be accused of something? How can there even be a question of did you do this or did you not do this or anything like this? How is it even possible?" Yes, that happened to me when I stood up. I was cornered by 6 big men in saffron robes, and they shouted me down and degraded me even though I had evidences on hand. Yeah. Yeah. I rape, God, massage. Well done about speaking out. That was brave. Yeah, it's always brave when someone speaks out, and Ileana was brave to speak out. If you speak out like that, especially in this type of environment, in a temple room during a lecture or a Sunday feast, or any time actually, it doesn't matter. But especially like this, you can face some repercussions. You can easily be manhandled out the back and punched and beat and kicked and thrown into the street or into the alley. Absolutely, that is without a doubt, and they don't care. They don't care that you'll call the police. They'll just go run in the ashram or drive to the next temple a couple hours away and hide out there. It's like we saw, like I read to you about the girl that they were hiding out. The extent that they will go to further their criminality. So if they would go through all of that just to hide out a runaway who had no connection other than she was just a runaway girl. Well, she was a girl. She was a young 14-year-old girl. She was a 14-year-old girl, but she was like she wasn't important. Well, I guess that's important to them. But the lengths that they went to hide out that young girl, little girl, young girl, underage girl. The lengths that these grown men went to hide out that young underage girl, flying her across the country, driving her into Canada. My God, it was such a friggin'... And they couldn't even get away with it. They went through all of that, and they couldn't even get away with it. So you can imagine if some guy stands up or a woman stands up and confronts a guru and says, "Hey, you molested my daughter," or even if I was to stand up and go, "Hey, you molested my daughter," or "You let this guy molest my daughter," they'd have their goons would take me out and rough me up and throw me out in the alley. And a woman, who knows what they do to a woman? Probably have all the other ladies beat her up. I don't know. But that's what happens. That's what they do. They just
Standing. Now, what you are presenting is more of an administrative element.
It's an administrative element. Just because I'm responsible for the abuse of all these 35 children, why do we have to talk about that now? How is that relevant to my pure devotee status? Of course it is, but I'm being sarcastic. How is that relevant to my pure devotee status? How does that negate my ability to sit here and cosplay on this little stool and pretend that I'm some self-realized pure devotee guru guy? That's a horrific experience. It must have been. I'm glad you're strong. Yeah, she is strong, and it is. It's very, it was very bold of you, very proud of you to stand up like that. I'm overwhelmed by this ISKCON bullshit, to be honest. It is. That's why I get pissed off every show. I get all worked up, and I'm just like, Yes, well done, Eliana. Awesome and brave for sure. Yeah. I was molested by those 6 big men. They manhandled me and touched me all over and then told me to be quiet about it or else they will find me and do more. I was traumatized and it was real violence. Yes, it is real violence. And these guys are scum. That's why I'm saying this is a dangerous ass cult. Can you imagine some of these women that are in with their kids? These families are in Vrindavan with their little kids, and then something happens, and then they complain, and they go to the temple, and they go, "Hey, this," and they go, "Shut up! What are you talking about? Don't complain." And they're like, "Well, wait, you can't. That's not right. You shouldn't be treating people. Hey, we told you to shut up. Otherwise, we're going to take you out." And then it escalates like that because women get treated like shit, and that's the truth. That's the truth of it all. Women and children. So I'm really proud that you that you stood up. That's awesome that you stood up and you did something. I think we're all really proud and sad to hear that happened to you. And and I'm sorry too. Howard Johnson's sorry, and I'm sorry. But yeah, this is what happens. This is what happens. So now we're gonna get into where am I here? So now I want to get into this Hitler thing because evidently people don't know. A lot of people don't know. A lot of Hare Krishnas don't know. Some of you don't know, I guess, out there. So and so I'm gonna show you right here. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do this. So I'm at the Vedabase here, and this is Vedabase.com. You can go to Vedabase.com, and if you want to play along at home, you can go to Vedabase.com, and I'm gonna type in Hitler. You can see I'm doing it right there. I don't want anyone to accuse me of making up anything, because I don't need to make up anything. I just don't. So now here we have all the places where Prabhupada mentions Hitler in a talk or a book or anything. Not videos. So I don't think there's a book of, I think there is a book of video transcriptions. I think there's a transcription book. I don't think it's digitized. Of all his lectures transcribed into a book. I believe there is a book like that. Sorry, are these animals still in the cult? You know, I'm glad. I'm sorry that happened. I'm sorry to hear that happened, as everybody is. But it is absolutely a crucial statement. It's only cosplay. None of the mantras work, nor various types of dresses. None of them can control their senses. I'm glad you shared that your experience with us. I'm sad to hear that happened, but I'm glad that you shared it with us, because it just goes to show others that this is very real. It's real, and it's dangerous, and it's not just me just sitting here, talking shit. It's all of us talking shit. It's all of us talking shit together. But so let's just go through. I'm gonna go through what Prabhupada has to say about Hitler. Now, not everything he says about Hitler is bad. He does say, Hitler did this and Hitler did that, and he does name him when he names some horrible people. He does name Hitler. We're not concerned with those because that's normal. That's what everybody should be saying about Hitler. What's concerning is the times when he didn't say that and he said something the opposite. So let's see. We're going to start. We're going to start here. The first one that came up, it says morning walk, and let's see if I can get to it. This is morning walk, and here right at the top it says, Karandar is saying, like the example when Hitler killed the Jews, they will say, well, what should we do? Just let Hitler go on killing the Jews because the Jews were sinful? Or should we try and stop Hitler? Prabhupada, well, Hitler was imperfect and everything was imperfect. That you cannot compare Hitler's action. Karandar, but what should I do if I see that happening? Prabhupada, with God's action, God is all perfect. That is first proposition. God is all perfect. Karandar, that may be accepted in retrospection, but when it is happening, they don't accept that. Prabhupada, no, that is their ignorance, foolishness. Therefore, a devotee will not say like that. A devotee will say, Tate nukapam susam mixamanaha, Srimad Bhagavad 10:14:8. My dear Lord, I am suffering. It is due to my past mischievous activities, but you are rescuing me by giving little punishment. I would have been punished more, but you have given little punishment. Thank you very much. This is devotion. So remember that. Remember what you just said that. Karandar. Well, what if someone came here now to attack us? Should we just sit here and watch him and say that? No. Who said? You must fight. Well, and then Karandar says, well, why? If we are attacked, then we must deserve it. Prabhupada says, huh? Prabhupada evidently forgot what he just said. Karandar, if we are being attacked, then Prabhupada, no. It may be that somebody is attacking, even you do not deserve. So therefore, you have got intelligence. You have got hands. You must try to protect. Karandar, no, but how can anything go on without God's sanction? Prabhupada, just like one man is destined to be hanged, but still he appoints a lawyer and tries to save him. He knows that I have committed murder. I must be hanged. You know, this, what Prabhupada just said right there,
What in God's holy name are you blathering about?
so Prabhupada says that when something bad happens, a devotee just says, well, we deserve it. And then when Karandar says, oh, so if someone attacks us, we should just sit here because we deserve it. And Prabhupada says, what? No. You defend yourself. So evidently Prabhupada's confused. But that's what Prabhupada says about Hitler in this instance. So, well, let's get to where Prabhupada says, okay, so this is a room conversation. Prabhupada says, ah, yes. So these English people, they were very expert in making propaganda. They killed Hitler by propaganda. I don't think Hitler was so bad man. What do you think? You are Englishmen. So, Prabhupada says, he goes on and they talk about the war and the Germans, and he says, Prabhupada says, if I can find it. He says, but the Germans bombed London. And Prabhupada says, well, yes, because it was a war. They have to bomb. I can't find it right now in that one, but So Prabhupada, so he organized, he made compromise. Some he's made this Hitler and Tojo that whoever Indian soldiers surrender, you should. Indian man, Prabhupada, many, no, Subhas he got a great personality. Prabhupada, when the Britishers saw now the soldiers are coming in national movement, there is no hope. Better break this and go peacefully that our business may not be disturbed. Our relation may not be disturbed. Make a commonwealth and so on, hodgepodge, and do as much harm as possible, dividing Pakistan and Hindustan. So Prabhupada was on the side of Germany in World War II because they were fighting the British. Let's see. Rameshwar. These banks in the West, they supported Lenin. They made it possible to finance his revolution. Prabhupada, yes, they have got money. The Jews have got money. They want to invest and get some profit. Their only interest is how to get money. No nationalism, no religion, nothing of the sort. Therefore, it is not now, long, long ago. Therefore, Shakespeare wrote, Shylock the Jew. Hari Sari. Yes, Shylock. Prabhupada, 1 pound of flesh. The Jews were criticized long, long ago. Hari Sari. They were hated in the Middle Ages. So that's so this is interesting. So this is a letter where Prabhupada is writing to Karandar, or Krishna Das, 1972. So evidently, this is an interesting letter. He says, "My dear Krishna Das, please accept my blessings. I beg to acknowledge receipt of your letter dated October 30th, 1972, and I have noted the contents. It appears that you are again constantly disturbed by the same nonsense doubts. These things are not very important. We may not waste our time with these insignificant questions. If we are seeking to find out some fault, Maya will give us all facility to find any small thing and make it very big. That is Maya. But such questions as yours, why there is so-called discrepancy between the views of Bhagavat and modern science regarding the moon and other planets, and whether Hitler is a good or bad man, these are most insignificant matters, and for anyone who is sincerely convinced that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, for him, these questions do not arise. Our information comes from Vedas, and if we believe Krishna, that he knows everything, that Krishna is not different from Vedas, then these questions do not arise." So obviously the question arose that Hitler was a good person, and he's telling him, Krishna Das is like, wait, I'm having a hard time with some of these things that you're saying about Hitler being a good man, Hitler being good, and let's see, if we type in concentration camp, we can go right to the quote. Morning walk. Let's see. Morning walk, October 8th, 1972, in Berkeley. Let me see. Let me go back here. Prabhupada. He hesitated. Where did it go? He hesitated. Therefore, I don't believe that he killed so many Jews in concentration camps. And then the devotee says, but actually Hitler, he was trying to invent the atom bomb. The Americans invented it before the Americans invented it before the Nazis did. Prabhupada, no, the Americans stolen. Sarup Damodar, the Germans invented the atomic. The Germans first. See, Sarup Damodar, he went to college. He was college educated. He knew history. He knew that the Germans invented the atomic bomb. So he's trying to correct Prabhupada and say, the Germans invented the atomic bomb. The Germans first. Prabhupada, here's the quote I was looking for. So Prabhupada says, no, what they dropped in Japan, that was German. Devotee 1. Nevertheless, Hitler did. He bombed London. Prabhupada, no, he must bomb. If it is war, if there is war, I shall bomb you. Devotee, so war is good? Prabhupada, yes, why not? Oh, this is all, I'm sorry, I'm still looking at concentration camp. We're going to look at one more Hitler quote. Let's see. Oops. So this is the Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter 4, canto, fourth canto, chapter 11, verse 19. And in the purport, oops. In the purport, Prabhupada says, an example can help us to understand the inconceivable potency of the Supreme Lord. In the recent history of warfare, the Supreme Personality of Godhead created a Hitler, and before that, a Napoleon Bonaparte. And they each killed many living entities in war. But in the end, Bonaparte and Hitler were also killed. People are still very much interested in writing and reading books about Hitler and Bonaparte, and how they killed so many people in war. Year after year, many books are published for public reading regarding Hitler's killing thousands of Jews in confinement. But no one is researching who killed Hitler and who created such a gigantic killer of human beings. The devotees of the Lord are not much interested in the study of the flickering history of the world. They are interested only in Him who is the original creator, maintainer, and annihilator. That is the purpose of the Krishna consciousness movement. So you can see that Prabhupada says, he says in this quote that Many people are publishing books, and people are reading about Hitler's killing of thousands of Jews in confinement. Now, Prabhupada knew good and well that the entire world did not think that Hitler killed thousands of Jews in confinement. It was millions of Jews in concentration camps. And these concentration camps were all across Europe. I don't know what Prabhupada's trying to accomplish here other than being anti-Semitic and being pro-Hitler. I don't understand what he's trying to accomplish. I don't know if he's just trying to be controversial, if he's trying to be, I don't know what he's doing. But he put right here in the purport of his Srimad Bhagavatam that people are reading books regarding Hitler's killing of thousands of Jews. No, books don't. There were no books that say Hitler killed thousands of Jews. The books say that Hitler killed millions of Jews in concentration camps. They weren't in confinement. They weren't in jail. He didn't kill thousands of Jews across Europe that were in jail. He rounded them up, put them in concentration camps, and worked them to death and gassed them to death. Millions. 6 million. 6 million is a lot more than a few thousand. A few thousand. So you put that, he put that right in his Bhagavatam. So they got to change the whole, they got to reprint the Bhagavatam and change it to take that out. They're going to change it to millions of Jews in concentration camps. Are they going to completely change his purport? Plus the other, where he says Hitler was a good man, what do you think? Hitler did. He says Hitler was. He says Jews were Shylock. They're only interested in money. What does that tell you? He was pro-Hitler during World War II. He wanted Hitler to beat the British. He didn't care that Hitler was bombing London, killing innocent people. He's like, well, what did you want Hitler to do? It was a war. He blames the British on World War II. He blames the Jews and the British. He doesn't blame Hitler. He doesn't blame Germany rolling into Poland. He doesn't blame the Blitzkrieg. He doesn't blame any of that. He blames England. He blames the British. He blames the Jews. He says, and therefore, the Jews have been criticized for long, long ago. That's why Shakespeare wrote Shylock the Jew. This is transcendental knowledge that Prabhupada is teaching his disciples, Karandar and Tamal Krishna and Rameshwar, all these Jewish boys, teaching them that Hitler was a good man. And that he didn't believe that. He says, I don't believe Hitler killed millions of Jews in concentration camps. That says it all right there. I don't know what else you need. I don't know what else people need. I'll ask you, what else do you need? The guy was 22 years old, had sex with an 11-year-old girl. Now, you know, Nazis and pedophilia, you know, they go like this. They go hand in hand. These right-wing fanatical Nazi are into little kids. Prabhupada was had an 11-year-old wife. He wanted 13-year-olds for all his grown disciples. And to this day, as you've seen on my show, to this day, you're still canvassing for little kids. It's friggin' disgusting. So I don't know what else you need. You got Prabhupada, pedophile, 11-year-old wife at 22 years old. You got all this pedophilia in his books. Ramananda Roy touching little girls. Women are stupid, like to be raped. All this stuff. And what else do you need? People like Gora Haridan blathering about who knows what. The taste of this and the become a girlfriend of Radharani and become a little gopi girl. You want to become the girlfriend of Radharani so you can get the mercy of Krishna, so Krishna will take you down by the river and have sex with you. This is weird ass shit, man. They hate women. They love little girls, though. They don't like adult women. They just like little girls. They don't want the grown ones. What did we figure out? They want them at 11, from 11 to 36. 36, they're done because they turn 50, and then they're off to the forest. You really think they're off to the forest? Look at Trivikram. Off to the forest. So anyway, I was doing all that, and I missed all of these comments. That's what I was saying about, the Danish ambassador going. He doesn't know Prabhupada says these things about Hitler. Hitler was a good man. Bombing London was, what else did you expect him to do? So, yeah, Ileana, it's the fact that you went through that is horrible. But we've all suffered. Not that your suffering is any less. We've all suffered, and it's just it's really just hard to hear about stories like that and something happened. Swami Prabhupada seems to be a fanboy of Adolf Hitler. I mean, yeah, and I only read a few quotes. I read the important ones. Repressed fake monks. They are so fake monks because they're not in control of anything. They're not in control of anything. Eliana, that they are still there will allow the A's run by fear. Really nasty ass folk won't speak up like you did. And I'm sorry to hear that they're still here, but that's exactly what I was saying. Is like they're not going anywhere. It's horrible. Absolutely extraordinary video. Thanks for sharing, Mike. Oh, you're welcome, man. Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining in, man. I love that they live in India. Did this happen in India? It's stuff. Prabhupada reads Mein Kampf while snuffing in his room. I think he did. I think. Well, Prabhupada lived through that. Prabhupada lived through World War I, World War II, and everything in between. He lived through all of that. So he probably did. He probably did read Mein Kampf. Until today, none of the ladies on monthly time are allowed to cook or going to the temple or place of worship. Nepal, India, even. Yeah, and in ISKCON, they can't go on the altar. Some don't even go in the temple room when they're when it's their time. But yeah, it's part of that. It's part of that women hating. That's what I was saying. You know, I love it when I find videos where people, agree with me. When people agree, because I'm not an expert, and I don't claim to be an expert. But I'm an expert on me and what I've been through, and I see the same patterns that all the other cult experts see, like a knitting cult lady. And that's why I like to share these videos when I find these videos that have meaning and relate to the Hare Krishnas, because these people that are doing these videos about cults, they're not studying Hare Krishna, because they don't think that Hare Krishna is a cult. They think that Hare Krishna is this ancient tradition, 5,000-year-old whatever, comes from India, it's Vedic culture. Well, they buy into the crap. They buy into the crap. If the Hare Krishnas go down to LA City Council and go, hey, we want a festival, we want to have a festival down in Venice, and they go, well, what is your festival again? And they go, oh, it's we're recreating a 5,000-year-old ancient Indian festival that represents the god Krishna in Jagannath form and his brother and sister and the chariots, and it represents this and that. And it's from Puri, India, and they make it sound like it's like that's what they are. And they go, oh, that sounds really cool. Yeah, we want you to do that. That's like really cool. Bullshit. It's a cult. It's a 200-year-old cult. Like Jehovah's Witness or Christian Science or something. 200 years old, the most. 5,000-year-old. Cold showers are rough. It's impossible in the winter. Cold showers, man. They want to control your showering. They want to just control everything. They want to control how you fucking wipe your ass. I remember them trying to convince me that wiping your ass with your hand, I needed to wipe my ass with my hand. And then just wash my hand. In 2019, I do not know those 6 big men, but they seem to be enforcers in the temple hall. But I've never seen them in my report. Perhaps newly. Man. That's why I would never go to Mayapur. I would never go to an ISKCON temple, or an ISKCON festival, because you just don't know. You don't know who these freaks are. They're freaks. They're psychos. They're pedophiles. They're rapists. They're domestic abusers. They're women haters. Women hate. They hate women. And so they have to teach women to be subservient and to be the right match for an abuser. You have to feel guilty. You have to feel like it's your fault. You have to feel like you're dumb, you're stupid, you're 9 times lustier than men. You deserve everything that you get. It's your karma for being born as a woman. And it's Kali Yuga. Let's not forget Kali Yuga. So women are groomed to be abused. Women are groomed, they're taught to take it. Take it. Cold showers in winter is like drinking boiling hot coffee in the peak of summer. It cleanses the soul from sense gratification. Why do I gotta take a shower? They wanted me to take a cold shower in LA when I got hot water. I got all the hot water I want. I got all the hot water I want. Why am I taking a cold shower? Oh, because hot shower. hot shower is sense gratification. And then I remember Radha Kuhn was telling me that if you use a towel to dry off, that's sense gratification. Like everything's sense gratification. He was trying to tell me hot water is sense gratification. It's like I can't enjoy a shower. Is the material world in Kali Yuga so out of control that I can't even take a hot shower? No, you can't. Because you'll start to think, you start to enjoy yourself and go, what the fuck am I in this cult for? Why am I in this cult, man? This warm shower sure feels good. This warm shower sure feels good. What the fuck am I doing in this cult that wants me to take a cold shower and wipe my ass with my hand? The hell am I doing? But if you're not in a hot shower and you're just throwing a bucket of cold water on your head, you don't have time to think about that. You're just like, oh shit, that's cold. And then you move on to the next thing and I go whatever. But shit, I get in a hot shower, man. I can stand there for a good 15 minutes just thinking about all kinds of shit. I'm writing jokes. I'm thinking about stuff I want to do, places I want to go, things I want to see. That's my time. That's my time. And now you're going to tell me, well, that's sense gratification. Or sleeping is sense gratification. It's crazy. How can anyone believe and follow Prabhupada that Hitler is a good man? Hitler did genocide on innocent human beings. It's just sick. Yeah, it's not like Prabhupada didn't know. It's not like Prabhupada didn't know who Hitler was. Well, Prabhupada wasn't confused. He didn't have dementia. He wasn't like senile old man, like he didn't know who confused Hitler with, I don't know, Roosevelt or something. He straight up says, I don't believe he killed millions of people. I don't believe it. He was a good man. He was a gentleman. He says he was a gentleman. He says Hitler had the atomic bomb. He didn't drop it though, because he was a nice guy. But these Americans, no, you guys dropped that bomb. You guys dropped that bomb. But Hitler, no, Hitler was a good guy. Hitler was right there, man. That's Prabhupada and Hitler. Prabhupada and Hitler. 6 million Jews, Prabhupada. Can you imagine Prabhupada saying, giving a lecture and then saying, Hitler killed thousands of Jews, and then you stand up and you go, no, excuse me, Prabhupada, Hitler killed millions of Jews. It wasn't thousands, it was millions. It's not like the difference between 100 and 1,000. It's the difference between 1,000 and 1,000,000, 6 million. That's not a little mistake. That's a huge friggin' difference. You go from 1,000, like $1,000, to $1 million. That's a big mistake. And it wasn't a mistake. He said it on purpose. Prabhupada knew what he was saying. He knew what he was saying. He said, I don't think Hitler was a bad man. I think he was a good guy. It's crazy. Wants no part with literacy without understanding. Prabhupada was a colleague friend with Subhash Chandra Bose. They studied in the same Scottish College of Calcutta, wanted independence from British. Bose met Hitler twice. Yeah, and so Prabhupada was Prabhupada was a Nazi. I mean, Prabhupada was a Nazi. If Prabhupada was around today, he'd have a MAGA hat. 3 times during World War II. Prabhupada was a Nazi. How different is giving to a guru than a Christian evangelist? None that I can see. I don't think it's any different at all. If you ask me, I think you're asking me. If you're asking me, I say it's none. I say there's no difference at all. Not very. Not very. Prabhupada's godbrother, at least one, visited the Nazis. Yeah, these guys, these they picked the wrong side. Prabhupada picked the wrong side. He ain't got the balls to say, hey, there was a time when I was with Hitler, but I ain't with Hitler. I wasn't Hitler with no one. Once he lost the war, I wasn't with Hitler no more. No, Prabhupada couldn't do that. Prabhupada was with Hitler all the way. With Hitler all the way. Childish gratification. Man, it's insane. It's insane. So there's your pure devotee. There's your pure devotee coming coming down from the heavenly planets, from Goloka Vrindavan to give us white supremacy and Hitlerism. And tell us that Hitler didn't kill millions of Jews. He just killed a few thousand. This is what Prabhupada came, coming from Krishna. So Krishna told Prabhupada. So there has to be a point where you got to say, Prabhupada was wrong. Prabhupada was wrong about the moon. He was wrong about Hitler. He was wrong. He was wrong about black people. He was wrong about blacks. He's wrong about homosexuals. He was wrong. 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 So that's what Prabhupada has to say about Hitler. And listen, I want to thank everybody for joining me today. I wanted to get this all about Hitler, and not all about Hitler, but I want to do one where we focus on these quotes from Hitler and the Vedabase, because this is all on the internet. This is not on the dark web. This is not a hidden secret. It is kind of a hidden secret, but it's out there. And that's why I'm saying it's not really a secret. But I am surprised that so many Hare Krishnas don't know that Prabhupada said these things. I didn't know. I had to search it out myself. In the way that I'm showing you. I think I just typed it in. I think I was just typing in words. One day I was just typing in words and all this stuff popped up. I'm like, oh, look at this. And I started clicking and reading, and and then I was like, well, what about this? And I just started typing stuff in, and stuff would come. I mean, you could type in, potatoes, and you'll see all the time Prabhupada mentions potatoes. And, you might be surprised what you find when you start looking at what Prabhupada's saying. So that's how I found this stuff. I was just cruising around looking. It's all right there on the internet for free. You don't even have to buy a book. You don't even have to buy a book. You can just go to Vedabase.com, go to Vedabase.com, and you can just start searching out all the crap in Prabhupada's books. Search it out and make a list. Check it twice. You'll find it. You'll find all that stuff. And then when you're trying to talk some sense into somebody, you can say, well, it's all right in the Vedabase. Prabhupada says this. Prabhupada says that. You agree with this? Do you agree when Prabhupada says that Hitler was a good man? Do you agree when Prabhupada says Hitler didn't kill millions of Jews? Do you agree with that? Yeah, that's what I would say if I was in a class. I don't want to get bum rushed by 6 big fucking bouncers. But that's what I would say in a class. I'd say, well, I read in Prabhupada's books. Can you answer a question about Prabhupada's books? Oh, yes, I'll answer anything about Prabhupada's books. I'm an expert on Prabhupada's books. What do you want to know about Prabhupada's books, my young man? Well, I read in Prabhupada's books that he said that Hitler was a good man. Do you think Hitler was a good man? Let's see what they say. Because he's either got to disagree with Prabhupada or he's got to say Hitler was a good man. He can't do both. That's what I would do. I'd say, well, Prabhupada says that he doesn't believe Hitler killed millions of Jews. Do you believe that Hitler killed millions of Jews? Because they gotta either agree with Prabhupada or agree that Hitler killed millions of Jews. They can't have it both ways. You just can't have it both ways. Yeah. Used to think Prabhupada was misunderstood about Hitler. This vid has shed so much light on all he said. It's shocking. Yeah, and and what I advise you to do is to go look these up yourself, and you can read everything. You can read what came before and what came after, because there's a lot more about what he said. Because there's you can really get a grasp of the conversation that they're having, because they talk about a lot of stuff. And these conversations are very revealing, not just what he says about Hitler, but the interaction between his disciples, these Jewish boys that know that Hitler killed millions of Jews, probably killed their grandparents. And they're like, Hitler, blah, blah, blah. And you really get a window into what it was like for Prabhupada's brainwashing these kids. He's brainwashing them. He's giving them purity tests. He's giving them loyalty tests. He's manipulating them, and he's abusing them is what he's doing. He's abusing them. He says, I know you're Englishmen, but what do you think of Hitler? I think Hitler was a good man. That's like abuse. That's like, if I'm Mexican and he came and he said, I think Cesar Chavez was a piece of shit. What do you think, Mike? And I'd be like, Cesar Chavez, a great Mexican-American hero, whatever, figure in Mexican-American history. And now you want me to sit here and agree with you that Cesar Chavez was a piece of shit? And you're my guru, and I'm all surrendered to you and all of this, and now you're playing this mind game with me? That's abuse. They would still say Hitler was my man. They can't go against Prabhupada. They cannot, and they will say, well, you just don't understand the spiritual vision that Prabhupada has because it's Kali Yuga and you're offensive and you're making offenses. Well, can we get back to the point about what Prabhupada says about Hitler before we start getting about how I'm offensive? You want to change the point. You want to change the subject and talk about how I'm being offensive, but actually the topic is, was Hitler a good man or what? What are you trying to say? Prabhupada had gone loco. Yeah, that's exactly what he was doing. He was doing these purity loyalty tests. So But anyway, I hope everybody learned something about Prabhupada and Hitler tonight. If you didn't already know, and if you did already know, I hope you enjoyed the show anyway. No, I hope you enjoyed it, and all the other videos that I showed with Knitting Cult Lady and all of that. You really should. All of you should check out all her videos, her channel. I think she's the best cult person out there right now, other than me. And I'm strictly Hare Krishna, so I don't really count. But I want to thank everybody for joining in today, and let's hit the bell here, because hit the bell. All right. So again, I want to thank everybody for joining in. Please hit the like button, like, share, and subscribe, man. I need to get these videos out so everybody can see them. And then also my Substack. I have everything on Substack, so I want to push those out too. So if you want to head over there and subscribe, that'd be great. And it's my handle at Substack is Sri Mukunda Speaks, so that's easy to find. Sri Mukunda Speaks at Substack. And everybody, please have a great day, great night, great morning, great afternoon, a great evening. Really, I want to thank everybody once again from the bottom of my heart. It's great to see everybody come in and join me for these classes. Thanks again, everybody. And enjoy and have a great day, night, morning. Have some great luck. Stay out of a cult. And, of course, we got the wonderful closing credits. Thanks, everybody.